Welcome back everyone. In this lecture we'll learn about histograms. What is a histogram, histogram processing and histogram equalization, and also some typical examples of histograms and how or what we can infer from those histograms. Let us understand what is meant by a histogram. In statistics, histogram is a graphical representation showing a visual impression of the distribution of data. Like this one. So this is a grades on the English test, and on the x-axis we have the grades, and y-axis number of people obtaining particular grade. So you can see here around 15 people got the grade between 40 to 50, and around 23 people got between 50 to 60, and around 34 people got 60 to 70, and 44 people got 70 to 80, and around 37 people got 80 to 90, and somewhere around 23 people got 90 to 100. So this is the distribution of data. Okay, and you cannot extend this x-axis. It's fixed for this particular test because a maximum grade that is obtained, that is achievable, is 100. But y-axis you can have more number of you can have more number of people, because if you increase the number of people taking the test, then obviously this count will increase. There may be 400 or 4000 people depending on the number of people taking the test on the y-axis. So y-axis you can have more representation, but x-axis it is fixed for a given test. Okay, so this is the histogram in statistics. Now, in the next part, we'll understand what is a histogram with respect to a image. So, an image histogram is a type of histogram that acts as a graphical representation of the lightness or color distribution in a digital image. It basically plots the number of pixels for each value. And histogram provides a global description of the appearance of the image. So basically it plots the number of pixels for each value. Okay, so each value, this could be the grade and this could be the number of people in the previous example. Okay, and we'll see how it is done for a image. So let us consider this example. This is basically a smiley face, and the image size is 16 cross 14. So there are totally a total of 224 pixels. And in order to plot its histogram, we'll uh, plot the graph like this. On the x-axis will represent the intensity levels, on the y-axis will write number of pixels. Now how many intensity levels are used to represent this image? So you can see here we have a dark pixel, pitch black pixel, and we have a darker shade of gray, and we have a lighter shade of gray, and we have a full white pixel. No other pixels are there, no other shade is there. So we have four intensity levels on this image. So intensity levels we can write as 0 for black, 1 for dark gray, 2 for bright gray, and 3 for full white image, full white pixel. And how many pixels are having a particular uh, intensity level, means how many black pixels are there, how many white pixels are there, how many gray pixels are there, is plotted on the y-axis. Okay, so let's count. For 0 means how many black pixels are there here? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 20 25 26 27 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36. So 36 black pixels are there. That means for 0 intensity level we can write like this: 36. and for darker shades of gray, if you count, you will get again 36. And for lighter shade of gray like this, if you count, you will get 22 pixels. And this image is composed of mostly white pixels, so more number of white pixels are there. If you count them, you will end up with the count of 130. And if you add all these numbers, 36 plus 36 plus 22 plus 130, you will get 224. This is the total number of pixels, and this is how we write the histogram for a image. Okay, and we cannot extend this x-axis for a given intensity level, uh, for a given uh, number of bits per pixel. For this 4 intensity level, we can have 2 bits per pixel representation, so that will remain the same. X-axis will remain the same. If you have a bigger image with the same number of gray shades, then the number of pixels on y-axis will increase. And for a normal grayscale image with 256 levels, you will have 0 to 255 on the y-axis. That will be fixed, but number of pixels on the y-axis will vary, okay, depending on the size of the image. So why do we take the image histograms? What is the use? Let's understand. Image histograms are basis for numerous spatial domain processing techniques, and we can do image enhancement by manipulating the image histograms. It can be used to provide useful image statistics. Information derived from histograms are quite useful in other image processing applications such as image compression and image segmentation. The histogram of a digital image with the gray levels in the range 0 to L minus 1 is a discrete function. Here L is the maximum level. For a grayscale image, L will be 256. And this histogram is given by the equation h of rk equal to nk, where rk is the kth gray level and nk is the number of pixels in the image having gray level rk. It is common practice to normalize a histogram by dividing each of its values by the total number of pixels in the image, denoted by n. Thus, a normalized histogram is given by the equation P of Rk equal to Nk by n, for k varying from 0 to L minus 1. Thus, P of Rk gives an estimate of the probability of occurrence of a gray level Rk. Note that the sum of all components of a normalized histogram is equal to 1, because we are considering n as total number of pixels. So we are dividing each value by n. So when we add up, it will be equal to 1. Okay. Let us see some typical histograms, means what we can understand by looking at a histogram. So the shape of the histogram provides useful information for contrast enhancement. Let's see how it is possible. So this is the image, and by looking at the image, you can tell that it is not clear, and it's basically a dark image. It's darker, and there is no difference between this foreground and the background. It's a minimal difference, and it's somewhat of a dark image, and its histogram will look like this one. So this is a normalized histogram. You can see the y-axis is in the points 0.01, the maximum is 0.07. Okay, so this is a normalized representation. When you add all these components up, it will amount to 1. On the y-axis, on the x-axis, uh, the distribution is from 0 to 255. Okay, so this is a 8-bit gray level, gray image. So 255 is the maximum value, but for this image, the most of the components of histogram are on the left hand side. Okay, so you can see, because it is a dark image, maximum pixel value that you can see here is around 80. Okay, So and every value is below that, and you have more representation for this level, somewhere around uh, 10 or 15 dark pixels are more here. Okay, and it's a concentrated histogram, concentrated on the left hand side, on the darker side. Okay, so by looking at this histogram, we can tell that the image is a dark image. Let's explore more examples. And this image, again, it's not a clear image, and it's a bright image. Okay, it's a bright image because even the background is whitish. Okay, and the foreground is more white. That's it, and the difference is less. So that means its histogram will be concentrated on the right, because it is a white or bright image. So let's see. So this is the histogram, and almost all the components are above 150 here, around 150 or more. Okay, somewhere around 130 you have one representation, and everything else is above that only. So from 130 to around 255 you have all the histogram components located, and no representation below 130 here. Okay, so this region is empty. That means this image is a bright image, and because it is concentrated like this, the image contrast is low. Okay, so that is one more thing we need to see. If it is concentrated like this, image will turn out to be a low contrast image, and if it is concentrated and on the right hand side, it will be a bright image. Concentrated and on the left hand side, it will be a dark low contrast image. Now this is a low contrast image. It's neither too bright, neither too dark, and it's basically a pure low contrast image. And its histogram looks like this. It's located in the center on the x-axis. So it value is in the mid range, from around 90 to 130. So all the components are concentrated in this area. There are no bright pixels or dark pixels, so this image is a low contrast image. And again, we don't want to see this type of images or the previous one, dark or bright image, because we cannot see the objects inside the image because of low contrast. Okay, let's check this example. So this is a good looking image. This image is a high contrast image, and you can see all the objects quite clearly. The background is clear, foreground is clear, and all the textures on the coffee bean is clearly visible here. And if you look at its histogram, it's it's quite evenly distributed from from 0 to 255. So it has a good representation for darker shades 0 to 50, and brighter shades, and in the mid range. So we have representation for all the gray levels. That means the image is good. So the takeaway from this slide is, if the histogram is evenly distributed like this, and it has a representation for all the gray levels, then the image will appear good, or it will be a high contrast image. This is what we want to see in an image, high contrast. The conclusion from the histograms that we have seen so far is that an image whose pixels tend to occupy the entire range of possible gray levels, and in addition tend to be distributed uniformly, will have an appearance of high contrast and will exhibit a large variety of gray tones. And this is what we want, an appearance of high contrast and a large variety of gray tones makes the image look very neat and clear, uh, where you can identify all the objects without any or without much trouble. So if we find a method to equalize or distribute the histogram of an image which is originally of low contrast, will will basically enhance the image, and that is what we will learn in the next part, image histogram equalization. So let us understand histogram equalization. What is it basically? So the histogram equalization is an approach to enhance a given image. The approach here is to design a transform T such that gray values in the output is uniformly distributed in the range 0 to 1. This is a normalized range 0 to 1, and all the gray levels are from 0 to 1, means 0 0.1, 0 0.2, 0 0.3 till 1. We'll have all the grayscale representation. And as we saw in the previous example, if we have a histogram which is equally distributed uh, from 0 to 1, then the output will be of high contrast, and that is what we want, and that is what we will do in this histogram equalization. Let us assume for a moment that input image to be enhanced has continuous gray values with r equal to 0 representing black and r equal to 1 representing white, and anything in between is gray. We need to design a gray value transformation S equal to T of R based on the histogram of input image, which will enhance the image. So as we discussed before, we assume that T of R is a monotonically increasing function between the interval 0 to 1, for the value of R between 0 and 1, which basically preserves the order from black to white. And this is a very important condition because a black pixel in the original image should be a black pixel in the transformed image. It should not turn into white, or white pixel in the original image should appear as a white pixel. Okay, so this order should be maintained, and that is done by this monotonically increasing function. Second condition is T of R maps 0 to 1 into 0 to 1. That means black and white pixel, 0 is black, 1 is white, and the range is preserved. Okay, uh, that means it preserves the range of allowed gray values. So in the transformed image, we should not have any value greater than 1 or any value less than 0. And this is one such transformation, so as illustrated in this figure. So the T of Rk is a monotonically increasing function, okay, and it preserves the order and the range. The range is 0 to 1 on the input axis, which is R, and on the output axis also it is 0 to 1, which is Sk, and the function is monotonically increasing. Okay, it won't dip anywhere. If it dips, it will uh, cause problem when you perform the transformation. So let us denote the inverse transformation by R equal to T inverse of S. So this is the inverse transformation, and assume that the inverse transformation also satisfies the above two conditions, which is monotonically increasing condition and preserving the range between 0 and 1. So we consider the gray values in the input image and output image as a random variable in the interval 0 to 1. So as we are assuming it as a random variable in the interval 0 to 1, let P in of R and P out of S denote the probability density of the gray values in the input and output images. If P in of R and T of R are known, and R is equal to T inverse of S satisfies the condition 1, which is the condition of monotonicity, which preserves the order, we can write the result from probability theory as P out of S equal to P in of R into dr by ds, where R is T inverse of S, which is the inverse transformation. One way to enhance the image is to design a transform T such that the gray values in the output is uniformly distributed in the range 0 to 1. It means P out of S is equal to 1 for the interval 0 to 1. In terms of histograms, the output image will have all gray values in equal proportion, and basically this technique is called as histogram equalization because all gray values are in equal proportion, they are equalized. So we convert image with the concentrated histogram into equal uh, distribution. Okay, that's why it is called as histogram equalization. And in the next part we'll derive the expression for this function t of r, and basically this is a point processing. Okay, we are acting on only a single pixel value at any given time. So let's consider the transformation s equal to t of r, which is equal to integral p in of w dw. The integral varies from 0 to r, and where r varies from 0 to 1. And this is a cumulative distribution function, CDF. This expression is basically CDF of P in of R and satisfies the previous two conditions. The conditions, if you recall, they are monotonically increasing function plus I should preserve the range from 0 to 1. And from the above equation and using the fundamental theorem calculus, we can write ds by dr equal to P in of R. Therefore, the output histogram is given by the expression P out of S equal to P in of R into 1 by P in of R. Uh, they cancel out, that means it is equal to 1 for the interval 0 to 1. So the output probability density function is uniform regardless of the input. Thus, using a transformation function equal to the CDF of input gray values R, we can obtain an image with uniform gray values. This usually results in an enhanced image with an increase in the dynamic range of the pixel values. Let's check how to implement histogram equalization when the problem is given. So step 1, for images with discrete values, we need to compute P in of Rk, which is equal to Nk by N. And Rk varies from 0 to 1, and K varies from 0 to L minus 1. Here L is the total number of gray levels, Nk is the number of pixels with a particular gray value Rk, and N is the total number of pixels in the image. And the second step is we need to compute the discrete version of the previous transformation based on the CDF. So which is given by Sk equal to T of Rk, which is equal to summation of P in of Rj, where j varies from 0 to k, and k lies between 0 to L minus 1. So in this lecture we have looked at what is the histogram, histogram processing, and some typical histograms, histogram equalization, and derivation uh, for the transformation function. In the next lecture we'll go through some problems on histograms, numerical problems on histograms, and we'll also learn about histogram specification or matching. See you at the next lecture. Thank you.